Welcome, students. We are going to discuss the new poem that is A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. Before the beginning of this poem, we will focus on the author, the poet of this poem, that is Leslie Norris. George Leslie Norris was born on 21 May 1921 and died on 6 April 2006. He was a prize winning Welsh poet and short story writer. So he was a short story writer and Welsh poet. He taught at academy institutions in Britain and the United States, including Brigham Young University. Norris is considered one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period. He is considered as the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period, and his literary publications have won many prizes. So you can say he was a successful poet. He was a Welsh poet. He had won many prizes. He was a famous short story writer also. He taught at academic institutions in Britain and the United States, including Brigham Young University. And he is considered one of the most important Welsh writer. He had also won many prizes. So that is the brief introduction of Welsh poet and story writer, that is George Leslie Norris. Now we move towards the introduction of the poem. The poem, written by Leslie Norris, explains the agony and helplessness of a caged tiger that lives in a zoo. Especially this poem focuses on this point: when the tiger is in the zoo, what will be his condition? How does the tiger behave when he is in the zoo? Definitely he will become angry, he will become helpless because his freedom has been taken away by human being. The poet explains what his life could be if he had been a free animal. The poet also imagines, if animals are free, then what sort of life they will live? They will live a life which is full of freedom. If any animal is caged, if any animal is put into cage, then his freedom has been snatched by human being. When someone's freedom has been snatched by someone, if someone has snatched his freedom, then what will happen? The animal will become angry. The animal will become helpless. So now the poet imagines what the animal will do when he is free. The poet has tried to explain about the condition of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun. So that is the introduction of the poem. In the introduction of the poem, the poet clearly indicates that he focuses on the life of an animal when he is in cage or when he is in zoo. He also focuses on this point, that what sort of life animal will live when he is free, or when he is in forest, when he is in jungle, then what sort of life animals will live. सो इंट्रोडक्शन में देखते हैं कि मुख्य रूप से पोएट इस बात पे फोकस करता है कि एनिमल जब केज में होता है या जू में होता है तो उसकी लाइफ किस तरह की होती है, और जब वो फ्री होता है, जब फॉरेस्ट में होता है या जंगल में होता है तो उसकी लाइफ किस तरह की होती है। जब एनिमल केज में होता है या जू में होता है तो वो हेल्पलेस होता है, क्रोध से भरा हुआ होता है, वो अपनी नेचुरल टेंडेंसी फॉलो नहीं कर पाता है। लेकिन जब वो फ्री होता है, जब फॉरेस्ट में होता है तो अपनी नेचुरल टेंडेंसी को फॉलो करता है। हेल्पलेस नहीं होता है, गुस्सा नहीं होता है. Okay, that is the introduction of the poem. Now come to next one. In the stanza number 1, you see, in the stanza number 1 we will see a tiger who is caged, a tiger who is in the zoo. So what is the condition of a tiger when he is in zoo? See, he stalks means moves or follows in his vivid here means bright colored stripes. A stripe refers to the design that is made on the tiger, on the surface of the tiger. You see, on the skin of the tiger there are several stripes. Simple meaning is this: he moves in his vivid stripes. The few steps of a cage indicates that the cage is small and the tiger is moving in the cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet race. When the tiger is moving, no sound is created because the paws of tiger are soft. But the tiger is angry. The tiger is full of anger because he is confined to the cage. He is in cage. That's why he is angry. And the reason for his anger is that his freedom has been taken away by human being. He is not able to follow his natural tendency. And the natural tendency of a tiger is to hunt. Or hunting is the natural tendency of tiger, of which he is deprived. He is deprived of hunting. That is the natural tendency of tiger. So here in this stanza we have seen what is the condition of a tiger when he is in zoo or when he is in cage. The poet has given us the picture of the image of a tiger when he is in zoo or when he is in cage. He says that the tiger moves here and there in the cage. He is taking few steps in the cage, but there is no sound is created because of his walking. It happens why? Because his paws are soft. But the tiger is not happy. The tiger is angry. The tiger is full of anger. Why? Because his freedom has been taken away by human being. Second reason is that he is not able to follow his natural tendency, that is hunting. So that is the part of stanza 1. स्टैंजा नंबर 1 में हम देखते हैं कि पोएट जो है एक ऐसे टाइगर की इमेज हमारे सामने लाता है जो केज में है और केज में वो मूव कर रहा है, छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स ले रहा है. जब वो मूव कर रहा है तो कोई भी साउंड क्रिएट नहीं हो पा रहा है क्योंकि उसके जो पाज हैं वो सॉफ्ट हैं. लेकिन जो टाइगर वो बहुत ही गुस्से में है क्योंकि उसकी फ्रीडम जो है ह्यूमन बीइंग के द्वारा छीन ली गई है. और दूसरा रीज़न है कि टाइगर जो है अपना नेचुरल लाइफ जीने में समर्थ नहीं है. उसकी नेचुरल लाइफ, नेचुरल जो बिहेवियर है वो जीने में समर्थ नहीं है क्योंकि वो केज में है. उसका नेचुरल टेंडेंसी है हंट करना, जो वो नहीं कर पा रहा है केज में रहते हुए. नाउ कम टू द लिटरेरी क्वालिटीज़ ऑफ द स्टैंजा नंबर 1. Rhyme scheme. When we focus on the rhyme scheme, that is ABCB. The rhyme scheme of the poem is ABCB. Now come to second literary device, that is personification. In this poem, the tiger has been personified. The tiger has been personified in the poem. The poet has addressed tiger as he. Okay. That's why here the figure of speech is personification. Metaphor. Tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Pads of velvet. You see, on pads of velvet quiet. So here the figure of speech is metaphor. Imagery. The poet has created an image about the tiger when he is in cage. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of a cage. This line clearly creates the image of a tiger who is in cage. Now consonants and the figure of speech is consonants. In the first line you see stalks, stripes. There is a repetition of S sound. Assonance is also present in vivid stripes. You see in vivid stripes you see the repetition of sound I, vowel sound I. That's why their figure of speech is assonance. Now oxymoron, that is also present in the last line, that is quiet raise. In quiet raise the figure of speech is oxymoron. In oxymoron what happens? Two opposite words are put together. Okay, so that is all in stanza number 1. Now we move to stanza number 2. Now in stanza number 2, the poet has focused on the life of a tiger when he is in forest. What a tiger will do when he is free. What the tiger will do when he is free. In the second stanza, the poet has created the image of a tiger who is free. See, he should be lurking. Lurking means he should be try to hide himself in shadow in order to do hunting. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding here means moving through long grass. So what the tiger will do when he is free? What the tiger will do when he is in the forest? What he will do? He will try to hide himself in shadow. He will move through the long grass near the water hole so that he can hunt the plump deer. He can hunt fat deer who will pass from there. So here in the stanza number 2, the poet has focused on the activity of tiger when he is free. stanza नंबर 2 में पोएट ने टाइगर की एक्टिविटी पर फोकस किया है, जो कब करेगा? जब वो फ्री होगा. जब टाइगर फ्री होगा तो वो क्या करेगा? वो अपने आप को छुपाएगा किसी शैडो में, किसी लॉन्ग ग्रास के पीछे, जो कि नियर वाटर होल होगा, ताकि कोई फैट डियर आए और वो उसको क्या कर ले? हंट कर ले. सो दैट इज़ द नेचुरल टेंडेंसी ऑफ व्हाट? टाइगर. द नेचुरल टेंडेंसी ऑफ अ टाइगर इज टू डू हंटिंग. So here the poet says that when the tiger is free, then he will do hunting. And how he will do? The way is given here. He will first hide himself through long grass near the water hole. When the fat deer comes, he will do hunting. Now come to stanza number 2. We have discussed the activity of tiger when he is free or when he is in forest. Now see the literary devices. Rhyme scheme is same ABCB, that is grass, pass. Enjambment is there. Line continues to next line without punctuation mark. If any line passes into another line, okay, if any line continues to next line without punctuation mark, that is enjambment. जब एक लाइन दूसरे लाइन हम देखते हैं, एक लाइन से दूसरे लाइन में हम जाते हैं, अगर उसमें कोई पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स नहीं यूज हुई हो तो वहाँ पे इंजाममेंट होगा. जैसे कि हम देख रहे हैं, स्लाइडिंग थ्रू लॉन्ग ग्रास नियर द वाटर होल वेयर द प्लम डियर पास. यहाँ पे क्या है? इंजाममेंट है, क्योंकि एक लाइन से हम दूसरे लाइन पे जाते हैं तो उसमें कोई भी पंक्चुएशन मार्क नहीं है. नाउ सी अलाइट्रेशन. Alliteration is present in plump pass. You see, plump pass. There is alliteration. Use of sound P at the start of the two words. You see, plump pass. P. That's why here figure is alliteration. The imagery. The poet has tried to create an image of tiger's activities lurking in shadow. So here in this stanza, the poet has created the image of the activity of tiger in the forest. Now we move towards next stanza, that is stanza number 3. See, he should be snarling. Snarling here means warning sounds made by animals. He will warn other people by his sound. In stanza number 3, again we will see the other activities of tiger in the forest. When he is free, he should be snarling. He should be making fearful sound around houses, at the jungle's edge. He would create fearful sound around houses which are situated just near the jungle. Bearing here means uncovered his white fangs here means sharp tooth of animals. He will create the feeling of fear in the eyes of the people who are living near the jungle by showing his sharp tooth. Meaning is this, that tiger will create the feeling of fear by creating fearful sound, warning sound, and second, by showing his sharp teeth. In this way, what the tiger will do? The tiger will create fear in the heart of the people. His claws, he will show his sharp teeth, he will show his claws, terrorizing the village. And in this way, he will terrorize the village. He will create the feeling of fear in the heart of the villagers. Again, in stanza number 3, we will see the another activity of tiger, another natural activity of tiger in the stanza number 3. Okay, again we see that what happens here. What will the tiger do next? The tiger will create the feeling of fear in the heart of the people who are living near the jungle. He will create fear by showing his sharp teeth, by showing his claws, by creating fearful sound, by creating warning sound. What the tiger will do? The tiger will create the feeling of fear in the heart of the people who are living near the jungle. So स्टेज नंबर 3 हम देखते हैं टाइगर की अदर एक्टिविटीज़. अगर वो फ्री होता है, अगर वो जंगल में रहता है, तो वो क्या क्या करेगा? लोगों के दिल में डर पैदा करेगा. जो व्यक्ति या जो घर जंगल से लगे हुए हैं, जंगल किनारे हैं, वहाँ पे वो क्या क्रिएट करेगा? फियर क्रिएट करेगा. वहाँ लोगों, जो लोग वहाँ रह रहे हैं, उनके दिल में डर पैदा करेगा. कैसे? वार्निंग साउंड क्रिएट करके, अपने शार्प टीथ शो करके, क्लॉज शो करके लोगों को क्या करेगा? डराएगा. टाइगर, दैट इज द टेंडेंसी ऑफ अ टाइगर. So in all we can say, if the tiger is free, he will do his natural activities, and when he is in cage, he is deprived of doing his natural activities. Now we come to the literary qualities of the stanza number 3. When we focus on the rhyme scheme, that is the same A B C B. That is A is village, house is clause. Okay, so that is all. Now come to next, enjambment. Line continues to next line without punctuation mark. You see, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge. So here is enjambment. Now see, figure of is onomatopoeia, that is snarling. He should be snarling, making sound, fearful sound. Onomatopoeia, using words which denote sound. In onomatopoeia, what happens? Sound suggests meaning. So here is snarling. Now come to next figure of speech, that is assonance. use of vowel sound O and I should around houses bearing his, white, his, here, which is the figure of speech, that is assonance. Now consonants in fangs and claws, use of consonant sound s. सो ये पूरा है लिटरेरी क्वालिटीज़ हम देखें स्टैंजा नंबर 3 में, जिसमें इंजाममेंट है, अनुमटपोइया है, एसोनेंस है, कॉन्सोनेंस है, राइम स्कीम ए बी सी बी है. दैट इज़ द पार्ट विच वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इन द प्रेजेंट slides. Okay, in the present part we have discussed about the activities of tiger when he is in cage and when he is in zoo. Okay, thank you.